Have you ever thought about yourself so much that your own thoughts became exhausting? What if being too self-aware is actually hurting you? Most people think self-awareness is always a strength. It helps us grow, learn from our mistakes, and become better people. But like many good things, too much of it can become a problem. Self-awareness helps us understand ourselves, but sometimes we stop learning and start obsessing. Instead of gaining clarity, we become trapped inside our own minds. One thought leads to another, then another, and another. Before you know it, your brain is asking questions faster than it can answer them. Simple decisions suddenly feel complicated. You spend so much time analyzing every option that making a choice becomes stressful. Even the smallest decisions begin to feel overwhelming. The more possibilities you consider, the harder it becomes to move forward. You become afraid of making the wrong choice, so you make no choice at all. Eventually, you start believing every decision has to be perfect, and perfection slowly becomes a prison. Even everyday conversations begin to feel different. You replay what you said, wonder how you sounded, and imagine what other people might be thinking about you, even when they're probably not thinking about it at all. Reflection is healthy. It's one of the best ways to learn and grow. But when reflection turns into endless rumination, it stops helping and starts hurting. Your body wants to rest, but your mind refuses to stop talking. At night, instead of sleeping, you're replaying old conversations, worrying about tomorrow, and questioning yourself over and over again. You keep searching for certainty, hoping that one more thought will finally give you peace. But certainty never comes. Every answer creates another question. It feels like you're working hard because your mind is constantly busy, but in reality, you're standing still, running on the mental treadmill of overthinking. Small mistakes suddenly feel huge. A tiny embarrassment becomes something you remember for days, weeks, or even years, because your mind keeps zooming in on every little detail. Over time, you begin carrying expectations that no one else placed on you. You become your own toughest critic. But here's the good news. Self-awareness isn't the enemy. The real problem begins when awareness turns into overthinking. And once you understand the difference, you can finally learn how to break free. So, why does this happen? Why does something that should help us end up making us feel stuck? The answer is surprisingly simple. Your brain is trying to protect you. It believes that if it can analyze every possible outcome, you'll never make a mistake. At first, this sounds like a smart strategy. Think carefully, avoid mistakes, make better decisions. But your brain doesn't know when to stop. Instead of solving problems, it starts creating imaginary ones. You begin preparing for conversations that may never happen, worrying about situations that may never exist, and replaying moments that everyone else has already forgotten. This is called analysis paralysis. You spend so much time thinking about taking action that action never happens. Imagine standing at the edge of a swimming pool. One person jumps in after just a few seconds. Another spends 30 minutes wondering how cold the water might be, whether they'll look awkward, or if they'll regret it. Guess who actually gets to enjoy the swim? Being too self-aware also makes you believe that everyone is watching you. Every word, every movement, every tiny mistake feels like it's happening under a giant spotlight. But here's something most people don't realize. Everyone else is usually too busy thinking about themselves to spend much time thinking about you. Psychologists even have a name for this. It's called the spotlight effect. We naturally overestimate how much other people notice us. Think about the last time someone else embarrassed themselves. Can you remember every detail? Probably not. Yet when it's our mistake, we remember it for days, sometimes even years. Your mind also develops another habit. It constantly searches for certainty. It wants guarantees before taking action. But life doesn't work that way. There is no perfect decision, no perfect timing, no perfect version of yourself waiting around the corner. The more you chase certainty, the more uncertain you become. This is why highly self-aware people often struggle with confidence. They don't lack intelligence. In fact, they're often some of the smartest people in the room. The first step to escaping overthinking is surprisingly simple. Stop trying to silence every thought and simply notice it. Your thoughts are like clouds. You don't have to chase them, and you don't have to believe every single one. Treat yourself the way you'd treat a good friend. You deserve compassion, not constant criticism. Perfection is impossible. Progress is enough. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start, and let confidence catch up later. Big changes begin with surprisingly small actions. One step today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. Growth takes time. Just because you can't see results today doesn't mean nothing is happening. Consistency beats intensity. Small efforts, repeated every day, become extraordinary over time. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is stop thinking and start living. Go outside, move your body. Let the real world interrupt the stories your mind keeps creating. Talk to someone you trust. Sometimes, another perspective can quiet the thoughts that keep echoing inside your own head. Learn to laugh at your mistakes. They don't define who you are. They're simply part of being human. Celebrate small wins. Confidence grows every time you prove to yourself that you can keep your promises. You don't become confident by becoming perfect. You become confident by accepting yourself exactly as you are while continuing to grow. Self-awareness is a gift when it helps you grow instead of keeping you stuck. Every single day, you have a choice. You can listen to fear, or you can choose growth. The moment you stop carrying every unnecessary thought, life immediately feels a little lighter. Progress doesn't require certainty. It only requires the courage to take the next step. Don't wait for someday. The best time to begin has always been today. Finished is almost always better than perfect. Every completed step builds momentum. The lessons you learn don't just change your life. They allow you to help others facing the very same struggle. A healthy mind isn't one that thinks more. It's one that knows when to stop thinking. Replace the question, "What if I fail?" with, "What can I do next?" Your future won't be shaped by perfect thoughts. It'll be shaped by consistent actions. One day, you'll realize the person you were trying so hard to become was growing all along. Peace doesn't come from controlling every thought. It comes from learning to let some thoughts simply pass. You'll still have doubts, but they no longer have to decide where your life goes. Real confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward, even when fear is still there. Maybe the life you've been searching for begins the moment you stop trying to think your way into it. If this video helped you see yourself a little differently, remember, awareness is a tool, not a prison. Keep growing, keep taking action, and be kind to yourself along the way. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.